Muslims coming in, that's the first masjid they would see. And right now today, I'm going to tell you something else that's really good about this. Usually, when Muslim visitors come in and they trying to find a masjid, they'll put it up on GPS. You know what's the first masjid pop up? Masjid Al-Salaam, right here on Pearl Street. That's how a lot of them find us. And I'm going to say something here. A lot of brothers have a problem with Umar. It's a saying, home is where your heart is. And that's why I've been here at Masjid Al-Salaam for so long. You know, my heart is here. This first poem, I called it The Player. A lot of people always request it. This was then, and I'm going to do the one after now, and you connect the dots and you see where I am now, as far as my journey from unconsciousness to consciousness. So you want to be a player, huh? Well, a lot of people think they know how playing go, but I'm going to tell you, I'm in the know. Because when I was a little kid, I used to hang on the street corners and watch all the players go by. And I used to think that playing was showing up flying, a lot of fun. I couldn't wait to grow up to see how playing was really done. I wanted to be the slickest slicker, the rappingest rapping, the dappingest dapper. The showing up and the showing up and the stuffing and the stuffer. So when I was growing and on my own, I tried to play, but I got played on. You see, playing is a hell of a game, but then game recognized game, and it's all about the same. So if you're going to play, you can't be slow, because if it is, you're going to do up a blow. Now, playing really ain't no game. It ain't about cheating, robbing, beating people to learn how to steal. It's about being for real. Because you see, there may come a time when somebody drop a dime on you about something you did in the past, and then no matter how good you can play, there really ain't no way to stop what's going to happen to you. You'll find yourself sitting in some courtroom, facing a judge that ain't gonna budge. And he'll be banging his gavel on the desk. And all the time, deep in his mind, he'll be thinking, how much time should I get his best? And then when it's all over, you find yourself going up the road for a 30-year hitch to some prison and jump off town. And then you can skin and grin and try to clown. But deep inside, you know you're on your way down. Now when you get to prison, that's when you really got to play. And it ain't but one way. That's to be on the straight up and up. But you can't do that smoking reefer and crack and laying in your cell drinking buck. You'll be around killers and robbers, rapists and murderers, and a lot of turmoil and strife where eating the wrong word or the wrong look can cause you to lose your life.
I did go to a lot of different masjids, and what I found out was there was a lot of cultural problems that was existing. But this is going through that transition, I'm telling you, to understand that the book itself, the Quran, is pretty specific. The sole mission of the prophet was the book. That was it. His job was to make sure that that book got put here and put in place so that everybody can enjoy it and have it. We wasn't never supposed to worship him. We never was supposed to create a sunnah. We never was supposed to do all these things that you see in the world. And the reason why, a good example to let you know that it wasn't true, look at the so-called world of Islam today. It's in total disaccord, and nobody is coming to their help. Because you know why? They're wiping each other out from the inside, not from the outside. They got a problem, and this problem exists with the women. That's the first thing. When you got a problem with the women, you carry an evil that existed for thousands of years. And you got to come back to understand, how did we get in this situation to be in this country as a people? What happened, you study your history and you start finding out who the players were. You see, these players still exist amongst you. You know, we're offsprings, and these people are offsprings of invaders. Who were the Bedouin in the Arab world? They was East Indians. Who are the Palestinians? They're East Indians. Who are the Pakistanis? They're Indians. You see, nobody ain't gonna tell you this. You got to get on with the gritty and the nitty to find out if you really want to know. You have people say, I don't want to know nothing, I'm fine with it.
Now, brothers and sisters, I want to explain something to you. That Imam Akman, Imam Akman in the middle, just got to talk. He was part of the largest organization in this country, which was the old Dar, which was Imam Jamil Alameen, H. Rap Brown. When the movement split up, they went to Imam Jamil and they went to Sheikh Jelani. Imam Ahmed chose to follow Imam Jamil Alameen, which is formerly H. Rap Brown, the serving time in prison right now. This brother, he crossed over, made the transition over to self-awareness, where he found out just what your brother Jabril just got through explaining about how Islam was invaded by Arabs. And it took a devastating effect on his mind because there was an Arab that came and took their community. That's what was devastating. So there was a choice. Those who wanted to follow an African American, as you would say, or as the media would say, militant Black Panther Party, because they did that to make sure that that sunk in our head that Jamil was guilty of killing a police officer, and that creeped in our minds, so we see him as a militant Black leader. And as African Americans, all of us, we have this militancy in us. We just been sugar-coated down, melted down. I'm glad to see my Moorish brother, Brother Prince, and Brother Tahaka here. And I'm going to say a few things as to how we met. But before I do that, I don't want the sisters to get offended by saying, well, ain't nothing but men getting together. I want to bring my wife up. She got some stuff to bring, so I'm going to give her 15 minutes, like everybody else. But I'm telling you, as the brother just got through saying, we want to be able to, if we pass on, we want to pass this on to sober people.
Then when they say that God is not, his name is not God, his name is Allah. And right then it hit me. And then when they broke that name down, they said, look, it's all in all. And that's what got me. Because I know if God had a name, it would have to be something we're going to consist of everything. Consist of everything. And he said, you know, they say that when you take God and you turn around, you got dog. I said, that's right.
Say, you need to come back and sit down with us. So I came back and sat down with the brother and reading in Arabic and reciting prayers in Arabic, and I'm like, what is this? And brother said, you come to me and I'm going to show you what you need to do. So I started. And for some strange reason, I started to feel better about myself. Then I realized that, you know, you've been had this thing all the time, because listen, when I was growing up, my grandma took us to church every time the door opened. I mean, every time they opened it. They opened on Tuesday, but every time they opened, we was in church. And my grandma, you nod, she gonna pinch you. You nod, she gonna slap you. You gonna be in church and you gonna pay attention. But I read the Bible so many times, over and over and over and over and over, and prayed and asked God, just help me. Something just wasn't right. It was me that wasn't right. When I decided to get serious about trying to do something with my life, things started to change for me.
The Moors are setting up a government. Okay? It's a theocratic government guided under the principles of Ma'at. Okay? Which includes Islam. Okay? And it is structured. But a government can't exist by itself without the spiritual component. So, when brothers who decide they want to be Moors, okay, be Moors, because you're reclaiming what is rightfully yours, you're reclaiming your identity, you will be recognized by the human family. But if you want to thrive in your spiritual self, then you will go to the Masjid.
Not too long ago, and I want y'all to go and check this out. Most of us know this as being a Federal Reserve note issued by the Federal Reserve. But what has been going on, and we examined some cases, especially one case down in Texas where they confiscated a vehicle that had been bought and paid for with cash money. $400 in cash. The owner had the title, the keys, everything. And they also had cash money in there. But the police department, with the government behind them, say that they were able to confiscate this vehicle because of what's called acquired apothecary. Now, what that means is, this note was issued by the Federal Reserve. This is a product of the Federal Reserve. So that means that we can't own it. Now, I want you to go to YouTube and get on YouTube and type in, "They own it all," including us. And this is important because we still got our brothers and sisters talking about, well, you know, I got plenty of money. I own my house. You see what I'm saying? Now, what they're able to do is because the United States of America is a corporation is currently operating in a bankruptcy. And whoever prints your money controls everything. But now, what we're finna do is we're finna start flexing not on the products that you have purchased, but the use of what you have purchased. I mean, if you purchase this car, you got the title, you got the keys, everything is signed, you got all these things. But they're able to come in and say, well, we're going to take this house because you got drugs in the house. And during our attempt to take this house, our officers had to shoot someone. Now we know that you was outside the house when all this happened. But we're going to take the house and we're also going to charge you with the murder.
We need to wake up. Now, I'm gonna be direct. We need to wake F up because our people's dying. Our people's dying because the nation of knowledge is not given to us, but we have some elders who's holding back the knowledge. You know, how can I sit up here and say, you know, as a young man come to me like, well, I can't tell you that because it's a code, it's a science. When I do that to my son said, Dad, what's that on that tree? It's a code, it's a science. What I'm doing, I'm blocking his level of trying to get to a certain point of knowledge. And we got to stop the foolishness. The Masons, the Shriners, all of them came from the Moors. We gave the science. We gave the knowledge. So let's get real with it. You want to get real? You got some Masons in there, I challenge you. Because I'm on a higher level than you. So let's get real about this thing. We got brothers and sisters out here putting garbage in their hair, putting garbage in their body. And we seeing this every day. We got to stop. You're going to have a nation of bald-headed women walking around here. We're going to have a nation of faggot men.
That's right.
What's wrong with our people? You know, I talk about this to my people over at New Orleans, and I get very passionate about it because I care about my future. I don't want to walk into somebody's government office and they got a man, supposed to be a man, looking like a woman. I don't want to go in front of a woman, she looking like a man because she fried the hell for her. We got to wake up. We got to wake up.
So once we learn to love ourselves, then we can start to unite with ourselves. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that unity alone will solve over 90% of our own problems.